I told my wife she needed to apologize for calling my mother manipulative. She refused. I pressured to lose respect for her, and she left to stay with her sister. 3 days later I realized I was wrong, set boundaries with my mother, and now our marriage is stronger because I finally chose her over family politics. I told my wife 3 days ago, if you don't apologize for what you said about my mother, I will lose all respect for you, and she responded by looking at me with a mixture of shock and rage before saying, then I guess you've lost all respect for me, because I'm not apologizing for telling the truth. Now she's staying at her sister's house, our families are taking sides, and I'm sitting in our empty living room wondering if drawing a line in the sand over an apology just destroyed my marriage. Not because what she said was an upset fool. Not because I don't think I deserve an apology. But because the moment I made respect conditional on her apologizing, I changed the dynamic from we're working through conflict to I'm issuing an ultimatum, and ultimatums in marriage rarely end well. The comment that started all of this came during an argument we were having about Thanksgiving plans. A careless argument that escalated into something much bigger, the way arguments do when there are deeper issues simmering beneath the surface. My wife's name is Lauren. We've been married for 4 years, together for 7. This is both of our first marriages. We're 32 and 33. Generally happy, generally functional, but with some recurring tension points that we've never fully resolved. One of those tension points is my mother. My mom, Patricia, is 61. She's opinionated, strong-willed, protective of her children, and not great at accepting that her over 18 sons, I have 2 younger brothers, don't need her input on every decision. She means well. She loves us fiercely. But she can be a lot. Lauren has always had a complicated relationship with her. They're polite to each other. Surface level friendly. But there's tension. Has been since we got engaged. My mom didn't think we should get married so quickly. We'd been dating for 3 years when I proposed, which isn't actually that fast, but my mom thought we should wait longer. She said so. Multiple times. To both of us. Lauren was upset but tried to be understanding. She just wants what's best for you. She doesn't know what's best for me better than I do. I know. But she's your mom. Let's just be patient with her. We got married despite my mom's reservations. She came to the wedding. Was perfectly pleasant. But Lauren always felt like my mom was watching her, waiting for her to fail, ready to say I told you so if things went wrong. I told Lauren she was being paranoid. That my mom had accepted the marriage and moved on. But there were incidents over the years that suggested otherwise. My mom forgetting to invite Lauren to a family dinner. My mom giving me marriage advice that implied Lauren wasn't handling things correctly. My mom making comments like when you have kids, you'll understand what real love is, implying our marriage wasn't real love. My mom buying me a coffee maker for our apartment without asking Lauren if we needed one, then being upset when we already had one and didn't use hers. Small things. Individually, not worth fighting about. Collectively, they added up to Lauren feeling like my mom didn't respect her or our marriage. I tried to manage both relationships. Defended Lauren to my mom when she made inappropriate comments. Defended my mom to Lauren when Lauren complained about her. But I was doing the thing a lot of married men do, trying to keep both women happy instead of clearly choosing my wife and setting firm boundaries with my mother. Last month, my mom made a comment that really bothered Lauren. We were at my parents' house for Sunday dinner. Lauren was talking about a project at work, she's a marketing manager, and was excited about a campaign she'd developed. My mom listened politely, then said to me, it's nice that Lauren has her little projects to keep her busy. Little projects. Like Lauren's career was a hobby. Lauren's face went tight but she didn't say anything. I should have said something. Should have corrected my mom right there. But I didn't want to make a scene at the dinner table. On the drive home, Lauren was quiet. Then, did you hear what your mother said? About your work? She called my career little projects. Like what I do doesn't matter. She didn't mean it that way. How did she mean it then? She probably just doesn't understand marketing. It wasn't personal. It felt personal. You're reading into it. Am I? Or are you making excuses for her again? We argued. I said Lauren was being too sensitive. Lauren said I was being too defensive of my mother. We dropped it but the tension lingered. Which brings us to last week and the Thanksgiving argument. My family always does Thanksgiving at my parents' house. Has since I was a kid. It's a big thing, my brothers and their families, my aunts and uncles, cousins, everyone. Lauren's family is smaller and usually does something more low-key. For the past 3 years, we've alternated, Thanksgiving with my family, Christmas with hers. Or vice versa. It's worked fine. This year, Lauren wanted to host Thanksgiving at our house. Something small. Just us and her parents and maybe her sister. I thought we were going to my parents', I said when she brought it up. We went last year. And I really want to have something at our place this year. Something quieter. More intimate. But everyone's expecting us at my parents'. So tell them we're doing our own thing this year. They'll be disappointed. They have plenty of other family there. They won't miss us that much. My mom will be upset. Then she'll have to deal with being upset. We're allowed to start our own traditions. But we already have a tradition. Thanksgiving at my parents'. A tradition you had before me. I want to create traditions that are ours. It was a reasonable request. But I felt caught between honoring what my family expected and what my wife wanted. Can we compromise? I suggested. Do Thanksgiving dinner at my parents' and then host a smaller thing the day after? That's not a compromise. That's me doing what you want and also doing extra work hosting something else. Then what do you want me to do? I want you to tell your family we're hosting Thanksgiving this year and they're welcome to come to our place if they want, but we're not going there. That's going to cause drama. Only if you let it. I knew she was right. But I also knew my mother. Knew she'd take this as a rejection. Knew she'd find a way to make it about her. Let me think about it, I said. What's there to think about? It's Thanksgiving. At our house. With my family. That's what I want. Do you want that or not? I want whatever makes you happy. That's not an answer. I want to do Thanksgiving in a way that doesn't upset my mother's feelings. And what about my feelings? Do those matter? Of course they do. But not as much as your mother's. That's not what I said. It's what you meant. The argument escalated. Voices raised. Old resentment surfaced. You always prioritize her over me, Lauren said. That's not true. It is true. Every time there's a conflict between what she wants and what I want, you choose her. You defend her. You make excuses for her. When are you going to choose your wife? I chose you when I married you. Then act like it. Set boundaries with your mother. Tell her she can't talk to me like I'm some silly little girl with projects. Tell her we're hosting Thanksgiving and she needs to accept it. Be on my side for once. I am on your side. No, you're on the fence. Always on the fence. Trying to keep everyone happy. And in the process, you're making me miserable. You're being dramatic. And you're being a coward. That stung. I'm not a coward for trying to keep peace in my family. You're a coward for not standing up to your mother when she disrespects your wife. And that's when she said it. The thing I couldn't let go. Your mother is a controlling, manipulative woman who never wanted you to get married because she wants to keep you as her emotional support child. And you let her. You cater to her feelings, manage her emotions, prioritize her comfort over mine. She's not your wife. I am. But you treat her like she is. I felt my face get hot. Don't talk about my mother like that. Like what? Honestly? You just called her controlling and manipulative. Because she is. She's my mother. She loves me. Everything she does comes from a place of love. Love doesn't excuse manipulation. Love doesn't justify controlling behavior. And your inability to see what she's doing is exactly why this marriage is struggling. This marriage is struggling because you can't accept that my mother is part of my life. I've accepted that. What I can't accept is you letting her interfere in our life. There's a difference. She's not interfering. She absolutely is. And you're so deep in denial about it that you can't even see it. We went in circles. Both getting angrier. Both saying things we couldn't take back. Finally, exhausted, I said, I need you to apologize for what you said about my mother. No. You called her controlling and manipulative. That was out of line. It was honest. It was disrespectful. Truth isn't disrespectful. Lauren, I'm serious. I need you to apologize. And I'm serious when I say I won't. What I said was true. Your mother has boundary issues. She treats our marriage like it's optional. She undermines me. She makes everything about her. And you let her. I'm not apologizing for finally saying out loud what's been obvious for years. That's when I said it. The thing I can't take back. If you don't apologize for what you said about my mother, I will lose all respect for you. She stared at me. Are you seriously giving me an ultimatum right now? I'm setting a boundary. I won't tolerate my wife disrespecting my mother. But you'll tolerate your mother disrespecting your wife? She hasn't. She has. Repeatedly. And I've stayed quiet. I've been patient. I've tried to have a relationship with her. But I'm done pretending she respects me when she clearly doesn't. And I'm done letting you pretend you don't see it. Apologize. No. Then I guess we have a problem. We've had a problem. You just haven't wanted to acknowledge it. She grabbed her purse. Grabbed her laptop. Started packing a bag. Where are you going? To my sister's. I can't be here right now. Running away won't solve this. Neither will demanding an apology I don't owe you. You called my mother manipulative. That deserves an apology. Your mother is manipulative. That deserves acknowledgement. I'm not going to stand here and let you trash talk the woman who raised me. And I'm not going to stand here and pretend your mother hasn't been actively hostile to our marriage since before it started. She left. Door closing firmly but not quite slamming. Leaving me standing in our living room feeling righteous and also somehow wrong. That was 3 days ago. Lauren and I have texted minimally since then. Short, practical exchanges about who's picking up mail, whether I paid a certain bill, that kind of thing. Nothing about the fight. Nothing about coming home. I told my brother, Kevin, what happened. He's the middle sibling, generally pretty level-headed. You told her you'd lose respect for her if she didn't apologize? He said. Yeah. Dude. What? She called Mom manipulative. That's not okay. Is she wrong though? Whose side are you on? I'm on the truth's side. And the truth is Mom can be pretty controlling. Especially with you. She's not controlling. She cares. She cares in a way that looks a lot like control. How many times has she guilt-tripped you about not visiting enough? About your life choices? About Lauren? She's expressed concerns. She's interfered. There's a difference. And if you can't see that, I understand why Lauren's frustrated. So you think I should just let Lauren insult my mother? I think you should consider whether what Lauren said was an insult or an observation. Mom does have boundary issues. She does make things about her. She's never really accepted Lauren. Those are facts. You're supposed to be on my side. I am on your side. That's why I'm telling you the truth. You're making this about loyalty to Mom versus loyalty to Lauren. But really it should be about seeing the situation clearly. And from where I'm sitting, Lauren's assessment isn't wrong. I can't just let her talk about my mother like that. Why not? If it's true? Because it's disrespectful. Is it disrespectful to tell the truth? I didn't have a good answer for that. I called my mother next. Told her about the fight. Not the part about the respect ultimatum, just that Lauren and I had argued about Thanksgiving and she'd said some upset fool things. My mom was predictably sympathetic. I'm so sorry, honey. I know how difficult Lauren can be sometimes. She's not difficult. I didn't mean it like that. I just mean she has strong opinions and it can be hard when those opinions conflict with family traditions. She wants to host Thanksgiving at our place this year. Oh. Well. That's her choice, I suppose. Though of course we'll miss you terribly. There it was. The guilt. Subtle but unmistakable. We might still come for part of the day. Don't worry about it. You need to prioritize your wife. Even when she's being unreasonable. She's not being unreasonable. Of course not. I'm sure she has her reasons. Though I do think it's a shame that she seems to want to pull you away from your family. But that's just my observation. Don't mind me. Every sentence was designed to make me feel guilty while maintaining plausible deniability. Kevin was right. This was manipulation. And I'd spent my whole life not seeing it because it came wrapped in motherly concern. Mom, can I ask you something? Of course, honey. Do you respect my marriage? Silence. Then, what kind of question is that? A direct one. Do you respect my marriage to Lauren? I respect that you love her and chose to marry her. That's not what I asked. I think you rushed into marriage. I've always thought that. But that doesn't mean I don't respect your choice. Do you respect Lauren? Another pause. I think she's very career-focused. Which is fine for some women. But I do worry that she doesn't prioritize family the way I raised you to. So no. You don't respect her. That's not what I said. It's what you meant. You don't think she's good enough for me. You never have. I want you to be happy. I am happy. Or I was until this fight. And part of why we fought is because Lauren feels like you don't accept her. And listening to you now, I'm realizing she's right. I've always been perfectly pleasant to Lauren. Being polite isn't the same as being accepting. You make little comments. Little digs. Her little projects. Very career-focused. Doesn't prioritize family. You're constantly implying she's not good enough. I would never. You do. All the time. And I've been making excuses for you instead of standing up for my wife. And that stops now. Are you seriously taking her side against your own mother? I'm taking my marriage's side. And if you can't respect Lauren and our marriage, then we need to have some serious boundaries. Boundaries? Is that what she's calling it now? Pushing me out of your life? Nobody's pushing you out. But you don't get to undermine my wife and expect me to be okay with it. I can't believe you're speaking to me this way. I'm speaking honestly. Something I should have done years ago. I hung up. Sat there feeling shaky and sick but also somehow lighter. Then I called Lauren. Hey, she said cautiously. Can we talk? In person? I don't know if I'm ready. Please. I need to tell you something. She agreed to meet me at a coffee shop near her sister's place. Neutral territory. We sat across from each other, both looking exhausted. I talked to Kevin, I said. And my mom. And I've been doing a lot of thinking. Okay. You were right. About my mom. About me. About all of it. She looked surprised. What? My mom is manipulative. She does try to control things. She has never fully accepted you or our marriage. And I've been making excuses for her instead of protecting you. I'm sorry. Lauren's eyes filled with tears. I've been waiting 4 years to hear you say that. I know. I should have seen it sooner. Should have stood up for you sooner. I let her make you feel small because I was too afraid to set boundaries with her. Why were you afraid? Because she's my mom. Because disappointing her feels terrible. Because I've spent my whole life trying to make her happy and it's hard to break that pattern. I understand that. But I needed you to choose me. To choose us. I'm choosing us now. I told my mom that if she can't respect you in our marriage, we need to have serious boundaries. And I'm hosting Thanksgiving at our house. With your family. And mine if they want to come and can be respectful. But we're doing it our way. You told your mom that? I did. She wasn't happy. But that's not my problem anymore. Lauren reached across the table, took my hand. Thank you. I'm sorry I demanded an apology. That was wrong. You don't owe me an apology for telling the truth. I could have said it more gently. Maybe. But you'd tried gentle for years and I didn't listen. Sometimes the truth needs to be harsh to break through. We talked for 2 hours. About my mom, about boundaries, about how we were going to handle family dynamics going forward. About how I needed to work on not being defensive when Lauren raised concerns. About how she needed to trust that I was finally hearing her. Are you coming home? I asked. Do you still respect me? I never stopped respecting you. But I was wrong to make respect conditional on an apology. That was manipulative of me. Learned behavior from my mom, probably. But still wrong. Thank you for saying that. So, are you coming home? Yeah. I'm coming home. We left the coffee shop together. Drove separately back to our house. Started the process of repairing what the fight had damaged. I told my wife I would lose respect for her if she didn't apologize, and what I learned is that demanding an apology is often about control rather than resolution, that sometimes the person who refuses to apologize is actually the one telling the truth you don't want to hear, and that real respect in marriage means being able to hear hard truths about yourself and your family without making ultimatums or demanding retraction. Lauren never apologized for calling my mother manipulative. Because she was right. My mother is manipulative. And my refusal to see it had been upsetting my marriage for years. The update is this: we're okay. Better than okay, actually. The fight forced a reckoning that was long overdue. I set boundaries with my mother. She didn't take it well. We're currently not speaking much. Maybe that will improve over time. Maybe it won't. But my marriage is more important than my mother's comfort. We're hosting Thanksgiving at our house. My brothers are coming. My mom and dad are not, they're too upset to celebrate with us this year. That's their choice. I'm sad about it, but I'm not changing course. Lauren and I are in couples counseling now. Working through the enmeshment issues with my mother. Working on communication. Working on me actually listening when she raises concerns instead of getting defensive. It's hard work. But it's necessary work. And I'm finally doing it. Because I almost lost my marriage by demanding an apology that my wife didn't owe me. By prioritizing my mother's image over my wife's truth. By making respect conditional instead of foundational. I won't make that mistake again. My wife was right. My mother is manipulative. And I'm finally ready to stop pretending she's not. That's the update. We're still standing. Still together. Still fighting for this marriage. And this time, I'm fighting on the right side.